There are a lot of Italian brands out there. Not a lot of people know that. There's a lot of micro brands that are Italian. There's major brands that are Italian. Panerai isn't the only Italian brand out there. I'm actually half Italian. My heritage is half Italian. I have a connection to Italian watches. I've always loved Panerai, but there are a bunch of other Italian brands out there that I really do find interesting. Today, we're taking a look at an Italian brand. They're called Veriwatch, V-E-R-I, which is a little bit weird, but it's a very cool watch, and I have one hands-on to show you guys. This gives me a lot of 1970s dive watch vibes, and it should, because it's actually named the Octopus 1973. And a first for my channel, this is a medical diver, so I'm not even actually sure what that means, but I will tell you about that in the video. So let's flip the camera and take a look at an Italian brand you probably never heard of, Veriwatch. So clearly a dive watch that is heavily inspired by the 1970s. It's called the Octopus 1973. It's a medical diver. However, it gets a 60-minute counter, so a dive bezel. This gets a bi-colored bezel, silver on one side, black on the other. However, there's a minute track that goes around that bezel. This side, on the silver side, it's in black. On the black side, it's in silver. So the indices are sort of negative of each other, which looks really cool. You have a very large pip in the bezel, and that is lumed. Then you have the medical diver portion of this watch. So really, they could put this track on any watch. I think it would work very similarly, but there is a chapter ring here that's in that iridescent blue, that aqua blue color, and all it is, well, it says on there, base 30 pulsations. So what you do is you wait for this watch to actually hit the 12 o'clock mark. Now, I'm not sure if you actually hack the watch when it hits that point. However, when it hits that 12 o'clock, you start counting the pulses. So you count 30 pulses, and essentially what you do is you look at that track, and wherever, when you hit that 30th pulse, you know what the pulse rate is on that track. That's essentially how this works. It's very simple, and I'm pretty sure it could go on any watch. So they could actually put this sort of chapter ring on any watch. It might be better on a chronograph. However, this is a diver, so that's why they call it a medical diver. So you can do it. However, it might be a little bit more difficult than a chronograph, let's say. However, this is a diver. You get 200 meters of water resistance. It's an automatic movement inside. You're getting a Sellita SW200. So this is a Swiss-powered dive watch. This has a black dial. It says Veriwatch at the top of the dial, right below those beaver teeth. Those are looms. You have stick indices here. You have those beaver teeth, again, giving you orientation in the dark. Those are all loomed with Super Luminova. You have a date with a date window surround on it at the 3 o'clock, taking the place of the 3 o'clock index. You have stick hands. Those are filled with lume. And then you have a needle seconds hand with a red tip, and that, I believe, is not lumed. I'm not sure if there's any lume on that red. We will do a lume shot towards the end of the video. You have Octopus, and then it says 20 Atmos right at the bottom of the dial. This is a 200-meter dive watch. It's actually pretty capable. You have a very 70s inspired case with a very large crown, which I love, and the crown is extremely grippy and easy to use, and it's also signed. The bezel action is excellent. However, it is polished, so it's a little bit hard for me to grip because I have dry hands. However, let's listen to the bezel action. Everything lines up really well, and it sounds really well. There's very precise clicks. I really like it. I like the colors also. I like the black combination of silver with that blue and just a touch of red. I think it all works really well. There is a lot of script at the bottom of the dial right above that 6 o'clock because you do get that Octopus logo, and then it says 20 Atmos and, of course, automatic. So 3 lines of text, but that top line of text is pretty large. So it does look like there's a lot at the bottom of that dial. Not terrible. That is a matte finish dial as well. I do want to mention that it's more of a satin matte finish, which I think looks really good. Size on this watch, it's around a 38 millimeter watch at the bezel. I measured it in around 37.9 millimeters. However, at the case, it's around 36.9 millimeters, so 37 millimeters. So it is a very nicely sized dive watch. Someone with a smaller wrist definitely can pull this off, and someone with a larger wrist could pull this off as well. You have a 47 millimeter lug to lug, a true lug to lug on this Tropic rubber strap. Very large crown at 6.9 millimeters, almost a 7 millimeter crown on a 38 millimeter watch. That is very large, 12.5 millimeters thick. That's including the domed sapphire crystal that you're getting on here. And again, you get to see that signed crown. Case back is screwed in, and this has one of the nicest case backs that I've seen in a while. You have that octopus, again, their little logo there. It's one of their logos, and it is really, really engraved into or stamped into the case back, and it has a little porthole motif, so there's little screws that make it look like a porthole. Really, really nice. And then, of course, you just have information about the watch around the outer portion. Today I have another skin diver, sort of 70s inspired dive watch on my wrist. This is the Nautic Skin Diver from Vulcane on the new bracelet that they just recently came out with. Really, really cool watch, and it is bigger. It's a larger watch compared to the watch that we're looking at today. This is around a 40 millimeter watch, and I'll show you the Veriwatch on my wrist right now. There is the Octopus 1973 on my 7.5 inch wrist. This is a 38 millimeter watch with a 37 millimeter case, 47 millimeter lug to lug, and a 12.5 millimeter thickness. This looks like a 1970s watch on my wrist. It very much feels like a vintage watch, although obviously a very modern watch at the same time. Really good looking. I love the colors. I love everything that they did here. I think they put it together really well. You don't see a medical diver very often, which is kind of cool. So it is something special. Price on the watch is around 688 euro. I think it's on sale right now. So that comes out to around $736 is what I want to say. I think that's a pretty good price considering it's a Swiss-made, Swiss automatic dive watch with 200 meters of water resistance and a lot of little details that make it pretty interesting. It definitely has a 70s vibe. You have to be into that. If you are not into the 70s dive watches, you're not going to like this watch. Especially, I mean, it's getting a Tropic rubber strap, which is made in Italy, by the way. I think it comes with another strap that's also made in Italy, so that is something to note. Pretty cool. I think that's a pretty good price at $736. Well, there you go. Lume is very good on here. It's pretty liberally applied to the hands and indices, and you also have that pip in the bezel, which is large, so you have good orientation in the dark. You have those beaver teeth as well that gives you pretty good orientation. The only thing I would say is that I wish the second hand was lume so I could see that it's working in the dark. I like to see that my watches are working in the dark. I always say that when a second hand is not lumed. It's a personal thing. However, I would imagine there are a lot of people out there who feel the same way. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of Italian watches in general? Swiss made, Italian design. I think this is a really good looking watch. They did a really good job with it, and it's a little bit different. It has a lot of little details that I think make it interesting. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. I'll put a link to Veriwatch down in the description. Definitely check them out. And if you are interested, definitely buy one. They have them on sale right now, so you can get one for a little bit of a discount. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.